Welcome to LumenSoft video tutorials. In this tutorial, you will learn how to configure and customize the settings of system according to your preferences. There are many features in the system that can be configured according to the needs of each individual business. This video will highlight the configurations you can set up through the Invoice tab, which is available in the System Configuration screen. As the name suggests, this tab helps in setting up the attributes of sales invoice. Let's start off with the fields on the screen. The Use Enhanced Invoice and the Use Spreadsheet checkboxes represent two types of formats for printing the sales invoices. The Enhanced Invoice is a standard invoice format. The spreadsheet invoice format is designed on the basis of color and size attributes. You can select either of these formats. This implies that if you select the Use Enhanced Invoice checkbox, the Use Spreadsheet checkbox is automatically deselected. And if you select the Use Spreadsheet checkbox, the Use Enhanced Invoice checkbox is automatically deselected. Next is the Assign Invoice Number checkbox. If you want to display the invoice number on the invoice, then you will select this checkbox. Otherwise, deselect the checkbox so that the invoice number does not display on the invoice. This is the image caption that displays on the top of the invoice. The text you type here displays on the invoice head. Next is the Print Product Code checkbox, which is selected if you want to print the code of each product on the sale invoice. Deselect it if you don't want to print the product code on the invoice. The Print Product Name checkbox, which is selected if you want to print the name of each product on the sale invoice. Deselect it if you don't want to print the product name on the sale invoice. Next is the Print Name and Address on Invoice checkbox. If you want to display the company name given on the Company Info tab and the address specified through the short definition screen on the sale invoice, then you will select this checkbox. In case you don't want to display the company and address, then deselect this checkbox. This is the Enable Print Invoice checkbox. If you want the Print Invoice checkbox available on the Sale and Return screen to be selected by default, then you will select this checkbox. Every time you access the Sale and Return screen, this checkbox will be selected by default. In case you don't want this checkbox to be selected, then deselect the Enable Print Invoice checkbox. This is the Enable Print Preview checkbox. If you want to have a print preview of the sale invoice before actually printing it, then you will select this checkbox. Conversely, if you don't want to preview the sale invoice before printing, then you will deselect the checkbox. the number of invoice copies field through which you can configure the default number of copies to print for the invoice through the sale and return screen. For example, if you want the default value to be 2 each time you access the sale and return screen, then you will type 2 in the number of copies field. Now when you access the sale and return screen, the field will also display 2. Lastly is the invoice footer text that helps in displaying text on the footer of the sales invoice. Click Update on the toolbar to save the settings. Now when you will generate the sale invoice, the same footer text will be displayed on the footer of the invoice. Remember that in case you make changes in the configuration, don't forget to update them by clicking on the Update button. Otherwise, the made changes will not reflect in the system. In this tutorial, you learned about configuring the invoice attributes through System Configuration screen. To learn more, please refer to other videos. Thank you for your attention.